Here's a question for you. How's your job satisfaction these days? I mean, has working from home got you thinking that maybe the grass might be greener somewhere else?
A recent national poll from Gallup finds 6 in 10 people are dissatisfied with their jobs. So when is it time to start thinking divorce? Joining Anita and I with some career advice is Dan Mason, who's got a great title. He's a life reinvention coach. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
It's great to have you. And just for the record, Anita and I absolutely adore our jobs and would never think about leaving. That
Let's get that straight right now.
That said,
hey, you know what? Cheers to you. You are in the minority.
Yeah.
So I raise my water to you.
Give us some of the telltale signs, though, that maybe it's time to break up with the boss.
Yeah, you know, I think people are going to nod their heads because these things are probably festering even before the pandemic. But now that you're working from home and you've lost all the rationalizations about why you should stay in your job, you know, you don't see your coworkers as much. People say, oh, I hate my job, but I love the paycheck. Well, now you might be asked to take a pay cut. So what you're left with is the work. And we have to ask, how much is your job causing you pain? The first step is to realize and really assess the level of stress that you have. There is good stress that makes you perform better at work. It's that sense of excitement when you're giving a big pitch or you have to close a big deal. But there's also bad stress that happens when the demands on you in the workplace exceed your capacity to control things. So if the work is piling up and you don't think that you can get to it, that's going to be anxiety and overwhelm. And eventually, over time, living in that stress response will cause physical problems. For me, it was being on blood pressure medication and contracting shingles at 38 years old. I was like, okay, time to take a time out and reassess.
Okay, so we all, you know, not we all, but I'm sure a lot of people out there work with what I call Debbie Downers. And nobody likes to be around a Debbie Downer. And, you know, when you're trying to start your day, you got this person always complaining or just being rude to other people. And 15% of workers, you know, poisoning the workplace with that kind of discontent, that can't be very good when you're trying to find another job. So what about those Debbie Downers? What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, well, the Debbie Downers, in fact, I'll be honest, at the end of my corporate career, I probably was the Debbie Downer. But it had nothing to do necessarily with my employer. Corporate is going to corporate. They're going to do all the same BS games that corporate does. The problem was me. I was sort of out of alignment and chasing this life that looked great on Instagram, but it didn't feel good in reality. And because I didn't have that internal compass of what my purpose was, it really knocked me off track and just accelerated my own unhappiness that I'm sure I probably freely spread to people around me and anybody who would listen.
Hey, before we run out of time, Dan, I got to ask you, because we are in a pandemic, and I think there are a lot of people out there, maybe because of all the dire news, maybe they're looking for more purpose in life, but you got bills to pay. How practical is that?
Well, here's the thing. A lot of people are like, you know, there's a cost. I can't give up this paycheck. But what is the cost for you staying stuck and being miserable? What's the cost on your health? What's the cost to your family and to your children to see this really angry, grumpy version of you? Finding your purpose. I've never seen anybody go broke by following their purpose. And it exists at the intersection of 3 places. Number one, what is it that I'm good at? Not the skills that have helped me survive corporate, but my natural abilities and talents. Number 2, what do I love? What are the things that make me feel alive when I'm doing it? And number 3, what does the world need? And when you are using your unique skills and gifts to help other people in ways that light you up, that's what I like to call the amplified life. That's where those concentric circles meet, and you're going to find the success and fulfillment to go with it.
I love this guy.
And you can breathe. Like, you can actually feel like you can breathe in life, you know? I mean, it's so true. When you feel like you've got a purpose, your passion just comes right out, and you don't feel like you're working. You know?
Absolutely. Look, I was up at like 4:30 this morning on the West Coast, excited for work today, excited to talk to you. Back in the day, I would have been hitting snooze on this thing 7 times and getting into work at the last possible moment. So
well, thank you,
totally
Dan.
get it.
Thanks for getting up early. It's a positive, it's a booster shot for us all. Appreciate your time this morning.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.